Hello and good evening. Sorry for the low quality video. It's 11:30 at night, kind of late, and this is going to be video 919, which I think is probably going to be called something like managing expectations, maybe managing disappointment, and yeah, something that I strive for is reality, is the way, not necessarily, I don't want to say the way that it is, but definitely the way that it is for me. You know, uh, it's reality. Uh, and one thing that I think I it's just part of this process, transitioning and maybe transitioning when you're older. And by older, maybe I mean like over 40. But, you know, just transitioning maybe in general is just the realization that if you do decide to uh, have some sort of surgery, GCS or something, um, you're gonna be your surgery is gonna be time stamped. You know, the process that was done, the technique that was done, the procedure that was used is going to be forever time stamped with the knowledge that existed at that time, and I'll say the skill of the surgeon, I suppose. Um, and another factor into that is just kind of random chance. Will our bodies heal the way they need to? Will our bodies, uh, our skin, uh, our muscles, you know, um, the the way it's done is it uses what you have, and so really your results are going to vary. And I guess what I have found is that my results have been less than spectacular. um, would it have prevented me from having surgery? No. I accept that as a risk you take, you know, and there's probably some value in waiting as long as you can so you get the best results that you can. But you know, I know for myself, I would have had it 20 years ago if I could have. You know what I mean? Uh, so along with that, there there has to be a bit of maturity and a bit of acceptance when things don't work out the way uh, I can't. I don't necessarily know. It's generally not something you talk about, and my experience with like support groups and everything is not very good. So, um, but I guess I had an instance tonight. I About a week ago, uh, my cats either ate or played with or uh, buried, but the charging cable to my little electronic friend uh, disappeared. So I wasn't able to charge my little electric friend. Uh, and I went through a couple days of, well, what am I going to do? well, you order another electric friend, right? And I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the cable or whatnot. So uh, I tried to find. I went to Amazon. They didn't have it. Uh, you know, so I said, well, I'll maybe it's time to get a new electric friend. So I kind of did. And the way that my surgery results have kind of turned out, um, you know, if something is too small, it goes up my urethra tube, okay, which you don't want. It's where your pee comes out. If it's too big, it doesn't get where the clitoris is. So, literally it's like, the vibration is like hitting something that has no, like, rub your nose here, you tip your nose. You can feel it, but it's not sexually stimulating. And so I found something that I thought would be kind of comparable. And of course, um, you know, very rarely do you get a size comparison. So what I thought was the right size uh, turned out to be a lot smaller than I thought it would. But, being the curious person, I'm like, okay, well, let me try this out. And, you know, as it turns out, um, what I thought was the right hole was the wrong hole. And not to be too graphic, but, uh, I could tell something wasn't right, didn't feel right. And so you try different things. And maybe if you get a pillow and you put it under your back or something, it changes the angle. You try different things, especially dilating and whatnot. Uh, but ultimately, I gave up. You have to be. I have to be in the right mood. If you're not in the right mood, it's not going to work. So kind of as I got up and I got moving, I could feel again something was wrong. And I turned on the light and I looked at my hand, and my hand was all bloody. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have given some kind of warning. But yeah, the vibrator went down the wrong hole. Um, and so for the next day or two when I pee, I'm gonna pee red. In my underwear, I'll have to wear a pad, to collect the blood and whatnot. Um, so I guess kind of what I said about managing expectations and managing disappointment. Um, it, it's just something I've kind of had to dealt with. Um, and it seemed like before when I had been to support groups, some of the women, transgender women, almost wanted to brag about their sex life and how active they were, and it always hurt me. It always made me feel inadequate. Made me feel like something was wrong with me, and you know, like I said, I've always strived to be very truthful, to be very truthful, and to share my experiences as they happen. Not to candy coat them. Uh, like I said, is it something that would keep me from having surgery? No. Is it something that would keep me from having transition? No. But it is a chance. It is a reality. It does happen. Um, one of my friends who we both had the same surgeon around the same time. She's also had a lot of complications too. and it's just one of those things. When do you want to take the risk? When do you, if surgery is something you want, when you know when do you feel comfortable taking that risk? Are you willing to take that risk? Like I said, for me, you could have said to me, "Oh, your chances of having an orgasm are going to be 5%." I still would have done it. You know what I mean? Uh, no surgeon can guarantee a good result. It's a risk you take, and I guess I think it's more truthful to go into it expecting that, or accepting the risk. You know what I mean? Um, as it turns out for me, uh, I'd wi- I widened my search capability. I went to the manufacturer of my old friend, and turns out they did have some of my old friend in stock. So uh, my old friend is. I'm gonna get a new friend that's coming to come, assuming that it wasn't a bad website. Uh, there is a lot of trial and error. Does this feel right? Is this the right shape? Does it vibrate at the right frequency? Is it enough pressure? Is it too much pressure? Um, the thing that I ordered that came in the mail today was too much aggression. It was too much. Um, so you have a lot of variety there. Uh, in addition to mood, again, women mood. Uh, Stereotypically, I'm not in the mood. It's the stars have to be in the right alignment. Your emotions have to be in a certain place. Uh, I had trouble before. Uh, you know, Before I transitioned. Which made me think that maybe I was asexual. You um, but there's a part of me that wants that connection, that wants that relationship, that wants that uh, not a sexual um, have to orgasm type thing. It's a closeness. I want to be close to someone. Uh, I want to have that connection. I want to have that deep relationship, that meaning, that comes with, listening when you have troubles and offering advice if you're interested, or just listening and nodding my head and maybe rubbing one's back or massaging. You've been on the computer all day, rubbing your hand, and I want someone to rub my hand. Oh, your hand, let me rub. Is that your mouse hand? You know, uh, your neck. Oh, tension in your neck. What's this? it's it's a brain eater. What is it doing? Starving. Um, you know, um, I guess that's where I'm incomplete, or I feel incomplete, and maybe I'll get there someday. Uh, but that too is a risk. You know, we'll never find somebody. Not to be negative. I'm not trying to be negative. I just think it's just something it's part of it. Something to think about. So anyway, this isn't a poor meism. I'm not depressed and unhappy. I tried something, it didn't work. I'm happy. I'm happy that I might have my a new old electronic friend come, might help me climb the mountain, uh, as it were. But again, it's just It's something to take into consideration. It's something to take into consideration. Um, like I said, it's definitely my life now is better than really at any time before I transitioned. That's very true. And if I was able to go back 10 or 15 years, I wouldn't. And if I couldn't be who I am today, I wouldn't want to be. You know what I mean? I'm much better off today than I was then, and I'm mature enough, I suppose, to accept the fact that no, I'm not gonna have. I think about my mom. Sometimes we'll talk, and she'll say something like, "Yeah, I haven't had an orgasm in 15 years." So I don't think I'm not gonna have one before I die, because she's married to my stepfather, of course. But that's kind of it's where romance novels, I suppose, come in. You know. But anyway, just be aware. I suppose that's the takeaway, is that it's a possibility that we won't. By the same token, it's a possibility we might. You never know. You'll never know if you don't try. You'll miss every target you don't take aim at. Well, time to go to bed. Bye bye.